Alright, welcome back to another Triple Threat basketball game. My name is Brian Haferkamp. I'm the designer and creator of Triple Threat Basketball, a new tabletop baseball or basketball game, full play, and so it's got everything that you would want to play within the game. This is going to be the fourth quarter of this game between Team Next against Team OG, and Team Next has players from 2000 to today. Team OG with players mostly from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And right now it's Team OG up 98 to 92 as we head into the fourth quarter of action. It's been a good one, lots of scoring, and has felt like sort of an old school NBA game. We have our starters still in the game. The only people in foul trouble are going to be Steve Nash. Well, he's not in the game. Kobe Bryant off the bench has 3. Giannis has 3, so he is not in the game right now either. And not really any foul trouble for Team OG. It's these guys are really taking it to the rim and putting Team Next into a tough position. So that's where we stand. It's going to be Team OG's ball off of the quarter change, so into the fourth quarter. We have 12 minutes left in the last little section of our clock, and I think we're all ready to go. So we're going to be using the column here with the fourth quarter, and we'll see how this one turns out. So Team OG with the ball. I don't think I need to do anything else. So that was a very tentative roll, but we're gonna use this like it's a make. So on a turnover, and I have that on the game chart. So when there's a turnover or non-shooting foul, then you're gonna use the make side of the transition offense chart. So this is gonna be Magic bringing the ball up the floor. Johnson has an open three-pointer. He's going to actually get that to Michael. He's going to say no, and the pass to Michael is good. Jordan is going to pass it to Bird, and Bird, with time running out on the clock, has a contested three-pointer. A 2 is going to be a miss, and so good defense there by Durant to provide some resistance. So Bird begins with a miss. Takes us down to 11 minutes and 40 seconds left in the game. Off the miss, it's going to be James Harden bringing the ball up the floor. He's got an open lane. He's going to go ahead and take that. A 9 means that he takes it in for a layup. And Harden with his first 2 of the fourth. He's had a good game so far. He's got 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 17, 20, 22. Sorry, he should be over here. So 22, 24 points off the bench. So it's been a good one for James Harden. 94-98 is our score. It'll be Jordan bringing the ball up the floor. He's got a three-pointer, but tightly guarded by Curry. So he's going to get it down to Hakeem. Hakeem's got the low post move, but he's being beat up by Shaq. So he's going to kick it back out to Bird. And that's actually going to be a turnover. So he turns it over on the pass. So Olajuwon, his first turnover of the game. Takes 3 ticks off the clock. And going back the other way. We treat that like a make. It's a turnover. That's again, like I said, it's a dead ball, and you can see it on the chart as a reminder. So on the make, it's going to be Harden bringing it up the floor. He's got a dribble drive, but good defense by Magic, as he's going to get it over to Curry. See what Curry does with the ball. He's got an open mid-range jumper. So as he kicks it over to Curry, Curry drains it, and that's going to be his first bucket of the fourth. So Team Next climbing into this one. 11 minutes and 10 seconds left in the game, and they're now only down by 2, 98-96. Off the make, it's going to be Magic pushing the ball to the floor on the fast break. He's got a 9. A 9 is a mid-range jumper. He'll go ahead and take that. He passed up the last one, and he hits on the mid-range jumper from the top of the key on the fast break, and that takes just 2 ticks off of the clock. So it'll be Curry bringing the ball up the floor. Curry has a mid-range jumper, but he's D'd up by Jordan, picked up on his way down the floor. So he's going to get it to LeBron. Passes good to James. James has a dribble drive, but he's all D'd up by Karl Malone. You know he's going to go ahead and press the issue anyway. A 1 is going to be a miss. So that's LeBron with his first shot, first miss. And we went Curry to LeBron, right? 10:45 left in the game. Off of the miss, it's going to be Magic bringing the ball up the floor. Magic has an open lane at the top. He's going to go ahead and take it. He's feeling it. And an 8 is going to be a layup as he takes it down the middle and lays it up. Nobody picked him up on the way down the floor. So Magic exploits the defense for a bucket. And that's going to be 2 there. They should have 4. So it should be 102-96. We'll take 10 more seconds off the clock. I get to 10 seconds because if the player coming down the floor shoots it on the first roll, then it's only 10 seconds off the clock. If he passes, then the person who receives the first pass shoots, that's 15 seconds off the clock. And then if there's a second pass on a third roll of the possession, then that's like you have to shoot at that point, and it's 25 seconds off the clock. So not a lot of patient offense happening so far, but we'll see how it goes. It's going to be Harden bringing the ball up the floor. He's got an open lane as well. He's going to go ahead and take that. And he'll actually get fouled on his way to the basket. That's going to be a foul on Magic. That'll be his first. And first foul of the fourth quarter. It's a non-shooting foul. So we're going to take that out of bounds. And it's going to be Durant. Really, we're only paying attention to this one. This is for the make or the miss. Like, is it a set or is it a transition offense? But when there's a foul and you're throwing the ball inbounds from your own side of the court, you don't have a fast break. So we'll just look at this one, and that's going to be Kevin Durant with the ball. He is going to pass it to Shaq. Shaq has Hakeem on his hip down in the post. He's been giving it up the whole game. He's going to go ahead and take the shot. A 7. It's a -2 from Hakeem, so that's really a 5. And Shaq gives him the old spin to the baseline and hammers it home for the dunk. So nice play by Shaquille O'Neal. 102.98 is our score. And we'll take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll take 5 off the clock. That's down to 10 minutes and 10 seconds. Oh, it shouldn't be 5, huh? I guess it should be less than that. All right, we'll account for that. Magic with the ball. He's going to pass it to Malone. Malone is going to get it over to Olajuwon. And Olajuwon, with time running down, he's got a short jumper. It's open, but he is going to miss on the jumper. So that's a miss for Akeem. His first shot of the fourth. That was 25. We did 2 too many, so we'll do 1, 2, 3. Like that. Like so. And off of the miss, it's going to be Curry bringing the ball up the floor. A 1 is a pass to the point guard. Harden with the ball at the top of the key. He's going to throw it to Shaq. Shaq with the short jumper. He's open. And a 7 is going to be good as he knocks it down. 4 quick points for Shaq in the period, in the quarter. And that cuts the lead to 102-100. Team next, hanging in with Team OG. Off the make, it's going to be Larry Bird pushing it up the floor on the fast break. Gets a little bug in his bonnet. And he takes it up the floor. He's going to pass it off to Karl Malone. Malone with the opportunity on the short jumper. He's got a hand in his face. LeBron is a -1, so that's going to be a 4. A 4 on the jumper is going to be a miss for Karl Malone. And that'll be 3 more seconds off. 9 minutes and 40 seconds left in the game. Off the miss, it's going to be a fast break to James Harden. Harden with a 7. That's going to be a layup dunk opportunity, but he's D'd up by Magic pretty good. So he's going to pass it to Shaq, who's running the floor. Shaq seems to be hot. That's a good pass. Shaq Fu gets out. He's got a layup, an open path to the basket. An 8 is going to be laid up and in at the basket for Shaq. 6 points for O'Neal in the fourth quarter. That ties us up at 102. 102 with 9 minutes and 25 seconds left in the game. Team next making their move. Jordan brings the ball up the floor. Jordan has an open 3-pointer. He's going to go ahead and take that. He can feel the momentum shifting, and that's going to be a miss. And he tried to wrestle it back with a 3-pointer and is unsuccessful. So off the miss, it's going to be James Harden bringing it up on the fast break. Harden's got an open lane to the basket, and he will lay it up and in. So Harden right to the front of the rim, puts it in for his first bucket of the fourth quarter, and that gives Team Next the lead, 104-102. They've only had the lead at one other point in the game. Take 10 seconds off. Jordan brings the ball up the floor again. He's got another open 3. He's going to pass this one up and get it over to Bird, a skip pass. And that one's going to be stolen as he tried to get it across the court. The steal is from the small forward. So the small forward is Kevin Durant with the steal. we're going to treat that like a miss. So this will be a fast break. So he gets it to Curry. Curry on the fast break will pass it to Harden. Harden trailing on the play. He's got an open layup to the basket, a 5. He is going to be up and good as Harden, with 2 quick buckets in the 4th, gives Team Next the 106-102 lead. Team OG looking for something good to happen. It's going to be a fast break off of the make. So Jordan's pushing the ball up the floor. He's got an open lane, and he's going to go ahead and take that. A 5 is going to be a foul as he gets fouled going to the bucket. And the foul is going to be on Curry. That's his 3rd. First of the 4th quarter, first team foul. So Jordan at the line. Sorry, he's there. First shot is good, second shot is good. So Jordan drains both free throws. It's now 104 and 106 as Team OG tries to stop the bleeding on this small Team Next run. Off the make, it's going to be Harden bringing it up the floor. He passes it to Durant. Durant is covered up at the 3-point line. So he passes it down to Shaq. And Shaq, with time running out, has got Hakeem on his hip. That's going to be normal defense, but he's going to miss. He's got 1 miss on his post-up moves. And Hakeem is able to D him up and get the miss on the shot. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Brings us down to 8 minutes and 20 seconds left. And back on the miss in transition is going to be Bird. Bird with the pass to Hakeem Olajale. Oh, yeah, is that right? The pass to power forward. Okay. So we're on the fast break. And it is a short jumper contested, and a 5 is going to be a miss. So a 5, and that's right into his misses. So Malone with the miss. That's a couple of short jumpers that he's missed on the break. Takes us down to 8 minutes and 5 seconds left. This is off a miss. Harden slows it down, brings the ball up the floor. He's got a 5. A 5 is a pass to LeBron. LeBron is going to get it to who? He kicks it out to Curry. Curry, with time running down on the shot clock, has an open 3, and he drains it. So good shot there. Nice assist from King James. And Curry with the 3-pointer. 1, 2, 3. Extends the lead to 109-104. And we're going to I don't even know what we can do different here. I don't know who they can bring in. It's going to be a better scoring option. Drexler maybe, but I don't know. Everybody's about the same. So we're just going to leave that be. Do we need any substitutions here? We're going to bring in Nash, see if he can complete the game. Harden has played well. And Nash is back in. I don't think we counted that. That's going to be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 7 minutes and 40 seconds left in the game. Team Next with the ball. It is 109-104 as a big quarter from Team Next has put them in the lead. Jordan brings the ball up the floor. Jordan's got an open mid-range jumper. So he's going to take the quick shot. That was a 6. and a quick shot on the jumper is going to be good. As Jordan drains it, his 4th point of the 4th quarter, 109-106 is our score. Takes just 10 seconds off the clock. But I suppose as long as you're scoring, those quick shots aren't so big, but if you're missing, it's a big deal. Off the make, it's going to be Steve Nash bringing the ball up the floor. He'll get it over to Curry. Curry is going to have an open lane, and on the drive, he gets fouled going to the basket. The foul will be on Jordan. That's his 3rd. 2nd of the 4th quarter. That's a non-shooting foul. So we're going to start the play all over as if it were a make. So we're really only concerned about the white die in my setup. So Durant takes the ball on the inbound. He passes it to Nash. I guess we didn't run the timeout for that. Passes it inbound to Nash. Nash with the pass right back to KD. And Durant has a drive to the basket. Covered up pretty good for Bird. Bird is a -2, so it's going to be a 3. 3 on the drive is going to be another foul. This time on Larry. That's his 3rd. 3rd team foul for Team OG. And that's another non-shooting foul. So it's going to be Nash off the inbound play. Nash passes it back to Durant. I didn't do it again. So okay. So Durant with has an opportunity for a dribble drive. He's going to go ahead and take that again. See if he can get Larry out of the game. A 10 on the drive is going to be an and1. That's to Bird. Actually, on a drive, we always roll for it. Could be Bird. It's actually going to be on the power forward, so that's going to be on Malone. On a drive to the basket, it's like it's similar to a fast break where it could be anybody on the team who fouls you, not necessarily the guy. Not necessarily the guy who's on you, but I don't know. It's different ways of being. But an and1, that's going to be for Durant, a bucket. He goes to the line. He's going to. It's 3 off the clock. 6 is good, so Durant completes the 3-point play. So we get a bucket plus 1. 112-106 is our score, with 6 minutes and 35 seconds left in the game. Getting it out of the make is going to be Bird, pushing it up the floor. He's got a 10. A 10 is going to be a 3-pointer. He's closed up and he says, I got to get us back in the game. And a 10 is a drain. So with Kevin Durant in his face, Larry Bird with a 3. And Larry Legend gets Team OG right back into it, 109-112. So even though you're covered up, you can still take shots if that's how you choose to play it. If you choose to play it that you pass up shots, you can do that as well. Off the make, it's going to be Steve Nash. Nash has an open 3. He's a great 3-point shooter. He's going to go ahead and take that quick 3. And a 4 on the 3. That's one of the few misses. As he misses on the 3, and coming right back is Coming right back is Team OG. I feel like I'm always missing the time. So on the miss, it'll be Magic with the ball. He throws it to Larry. Bird a good option at this point. But Bird is going to give it up to Carl Malone. Malone's got the dribble drive. He has an open lane. He takes it in, and he pulls up short for the jumper and cans it. And that's going to be a bucket for Carl Malone. 112-111 is our score. I think it's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right at 6 minutes, excuse me, left in the game, and it'll be Nash pushing the ball up the floor on the make. So on the fast break, Nash dishes it off to Shaq. Shaq running the floor. He's got an open lane and a 6, and a 6 is going to be laid up and in as he avoids the contact underneath the basket and puts it in for 2. Shaq with 8 points here in the fourth quarter. Team next is up 114-111 with 5 minutes and 45 seconds left. So good one here, coming right down to the wire. Let's see if Team OG can answer. Magic brings the ball up the floor on the set offense. He's going to pass it to Hakeem. The Dreams got the low post move on Shaq, and not tightly guarded, just regular defense, so he's going to take that. A 3 on the low post move, though, is going to be a miss, as Hakeem is over in the fourth quarter. And that's going to be the ball back to Team next, and off of the miss, it's going to be Steve Nash bringing it up the floor. He's got an open lane at the top of the key. He sees it, he exploits it, and he takes it in for the layup. So a nice move by Steve Nash to get to the rim. And that's going to be a 116-111 lead for Team next, who doesn't seem to want to give it up now that they have it. Off the make, it's going to be Jordan bringing it up the floor. Jordan is going to pass it to the power forward, Malone. Malone gets it over to Hakeem Olajuwon. Olajuwon with the low post move. Again, he's going to try it. He's got a 5, and this time he turns baseline, and he gets past Shaq for the dunk as he hammers it home. His first bucket of the fourth quarter. And with time running out, he flushes it. It's 113-116. Nice answer from Team OG and Hakeem Olajuwon. Off the make, it's going to be Curry pushing it up the floor. That was a 7. And Curry on the fast break is going to go ahead and push it and take it to the rim. And he's going to get it blocked by MJ. And so that's going to be a miss for Curry as he tried to really push things, but MJ all over him. And coming back the other way, sorry, that was here. Coming back the other way is Team OG as the ball goes to Magic. Magic with the pass to Michael. Yeah. We're in the set offense. So Michael has a dribble drive opportunity. He is D'd up by Curry, but Curry's a 0, so this is going to be a true 8 as Jordan takes it in for the layup as he presses things a little bit. Sometimes these great players are just going to take the ball and they're going to not care if they're guarded or not. And that makes it 115-116. And 15 seconds off the clock takes us down to 4 minutes and 30 seconds. left in the game. Curry brings the ball up the floor. He's got a three-pointer, but he's got Jordan all over him. He's going to go ahead and take the quick shot. Oh, a 5 might have been okay. A 3 is a miss for sure. And so he misses on the quick 3. And it's going to be just 10 seconds off the clock, but it was a miss. And so it goes back to Team OG looking for the lead. It's a fast break for Michael. Michael on the fast break passes it to Olajuwon running the floor. Olajuwon with an open path to the lane, and an 8 is going to be a layup as he puts it up and over for the bucket. And that's his 4th point of the quarter. And Team OG takes the lead 117-116 as they have a little mini run going on here. Let's see if Team Next can stop the bleeding. Nash slows it down into the set offense, and he's going to pass it to LeBron James. James is going to get it, kicks it out to Curry. Curry, with time running down on the clock, has an open lane to the basket. He goes baseline, and a 5 is going to be a layup as Steph Curry puts it in for 2. He's got 7 in the quarter, and that re-gives the Team Next the lead. It gives them the lead again, is what I mean to say. And Bird is bringing it up the floor in the set offense. Team OG is down by 1 with 4 minutes, right at 4 minutes left. Oh, it's actually less than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 minutes and 40 seconds left. So Bird with the ball. He's got an open lane. He's going to go ahead and take the quick drive to the basket, and he's actually going to get that's going to be a miss on his drive to the basket. He's got a couple of those. So he's going to miss, and that's a quick shot for Team OG, who really needed to come down and capitalize on it. But on the miss, it's a fast break to Steve Nash. Nash, a 10, is an open three-pointer. He's going to stop, and he pops, and the 7 is good as Nash with the heartbreaker on the three-point, or the three-pointer on the fast break. Didn't take much time off the clock, but it did account for 3 more points. It's 121-117. 4-point lead for Team Next. Magic brings the ball up the floor. He's going to pass it over to Bird. Bird will get it to who? Bird gets it to Jordan. Jordan with a little mid-range jumper at the top of the key, and he drains it for 2. He's got 8 in the quarter. It does take off a significant chunk of time, though. We're down to 2 minutes and 55 seconds left. Team OG is down 121-119. Let's see if they can get a stop. All right, off the make, it's going to be a fast break for Steve Nash. Nash with a 6 is going to pass it to Shaq, who's running the floor. Shaq with the open lane. A 3 is going to be a foul, so he gets fouled on the way to the basket. And that foul is going to be on Michael. That's his 4th. It's going to be hard to take Mike out of the game. So we're going to leave him in until he fouls out. It's Shaq at the line. Not a great free throw shooter, so it's not exactly a bad foul for Jordan. A 4 is going to be a miss, and a 3 is going to be a miss. So 2 misses for Shaq, who has played well, but no bueno at the line. Off the miss, it's going to be Team OG. On the fast break, it's Jordan bringing the ball up the floor. A 5 is going to be a pass to Karl Malone. And Malone, he's going to take it in. He's being guarded by LeBron tightly. His 3 is going to be a 2. So a 2 is actually going to be a miss, as LeBron puts up a little resistance at the rim. And Malone misses the layup. 2 minutes and 25 seconds left. Team next is up by 2. And off the miss, it's going to be Steve Nash pushing it up the other way. 9 is a mid-range jumper. He's going to stop, and he's going to pop, and he's going to miss. So Nash with a quick shot and a quick miss. Down to 2 minutes and 15 seconds left. It is a miss. And so on the fast break, it's going to be Magic bringing it up the floor. He's got an open lane. He's going to go ahead and take that quick shot, and that is going to turn into an and one as he gets fouled at the rim. Lays it in, and he is fouled by Steph Curry. Curry with number 4. So Magic puts it in for a bucket. He's going to go to the line. 2 minutes and 5 seconds left in the game, and he puts it in. That's good. So it completes the traditional 3-point play. 1, 2, 3. That gives Team OG the 1-point lead, 122-121. This one coming right down to the wire. It's Steve Nash bringing the ball up the floor. He's going to pass it over to KD. Durant with the mid-range jumper. Supreme confidence. You don't have Durant out there if he's not taking shots. And he's going to drain it. That's good. So with Larry Bird in his face, he drains the jumper. Jumper is a 7 because of Bird's defense. So that's actually, it's right into his good territory. And Kevin Durant just rises up over Bird. 123-122 is our score. Takes 15 seconds off the clock. We're down to 1 minute and 50 seconds. 150. Magic settles him down, brings the ball up the floor. He's going to pass it over to Bird. Bird with an open jumper. With a jumper with Durant all over him. You know, he's undeterred. He says, young fella, anything you can do, I can do. Durant's defense is a 0, so Bird just turns around on him, shoots it over the top of him, and puts it in. So that's a bucket for Bird, as he and Durant are trading buckets here at the end of the game. 15 more seconds off the clock takes us down to 1:35 left in the game. Team OG with the 1-point lead, but it's going to be Durant bringing the ball up on the fast break. Durant with the pass to Shaq Fu. Shaq Fu coming down, and he's got an open lane. A 5 is going to be a dunk as Shaq hammers it home on the fast break, and that gives team next the lead. 125-124 as this one goes back and forth. 1 minute and 20 seconds left in the game. Off the make, Magic brings it up. Ever the floor general, Magic Johnson. He's got the mid-range jumper. He looks and sees Nash is playing off of him. He takes a shot and misses. And that might be a tough one for Magic as he takes the quick shot. 1 minute and 10 seconds left in the game. This is going to be a fast break from Nash. Nash will pass it to Durant. Durant on the break. He's got the, what is he doing? He's got a 3. 3. Bird in his face. Doesn't matter. A 7 on the 3 is going to be good as he puts it in Larry's face again, as Durant with the bucket gives him the 128-124 lead. It's a good one. Off the make, Jordan pushes it up the floor. He's going to pass it to Magic. Magic on the fast break has a mid-range jumper. He's open, and he's going to drain that for the buckets as he stops at the top of the key and puts it in for 2. 128-126 is our score. Only 40 seconds left in this one. Off the make, it's going to be Curry bring the ball up the floor. He passes back to Nash. Sorry, I should do that. He passes to Nash. Nash gets it to right back to Curry. And Curry, with time running out on the clock, he's got a 9. That's going to be a 3-pointer with a man in his face. It's Jordan in his face, so it's a -1. 5 minus 1 is 4. 4 is going to be a miss. So Jordan D's up Curry on the last second 3 as the 24-second clock runs out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that gives Team OG one last opportunity here to tie it or take the lead. It's going to be Larry Bird bringing it up the floor. Bird has to, he can make one pass, and then you got to hope for a shot. So if he's got a shot here, he's got to take it. He's got an 8. How does Bird wind up with an open jumper? He does, but he hits it. A 9. I can't believe it. And so Larry Bird, I don't know if that was really a 9, but we'll call it a 9. Larry Bird with the bucket. And that takes 10 seconds off the clock. There's only 5 left, so we're going to run that out. And this game is going to go to overtime. 128-128. Bird with the last second shot to tie it up. And that's where we stand, 128-128. So a 30-point quarter for Team OG, and 36 for Team Next as they got right back into this one. That is the fourth quarter, and the fourth quarter is going to end up tied up, and so we're going to head to overtime. And we do have one overtime session here, so hopefully everything can get straightened out in the overtime. That'll be the next video. And you can see that Team Next made up 6 points, right? And whew, that was a tough one. It was coming down to it. All right, so we've killed our timing here, so we're gonna have to keep it manually, I guess, underneath. Yeah, I don't know. A little worn out. I don't know what to say after that. But this is Triple Threat Basketball. Pretty realistic simulation of the basketball game, the game of basketball. And the first set is going to be the NBA 75. So all of these players, these are just some of the ones that you're going to get. I mean, off the bench, you know, Ray Allen and Anthony Davis, Tim Duncan, Kobe, Nowitzki, Garnett. So these are just some of the players. You got the modern players, so Giannis, and then you got a bunch of guys who are classic players. Barkley, Parrish, Clyde Drexler. These are the ones who just got into the game as subs. John Stockton. The guys who haven't really got into the game: Patrick Ewing, Reggie Miller, the Glove, Gary Payton. We also have, I've also printed out some of these definitely older ones. Dave DeBusschere, Kareem is in the set. So if you look up the NBA 75, you'll find out who's there. Dr. J, part of that, Rick Barry. Some of these images I went and found better ones. Elgin Baylor. You got some really old guys in there, like Bob Pettit is part of this group. Will Chamberlain from his Warrior days. Bill Russell. Bob Cousy is part of this. Dave Bing is part of this. Earl the Pearl Monroe is in the set. There's just all kinds of guys. So if you look up the NBA 75th anniversary team, NBA 75, you're going to see all of the players that are available in the set. What I'm going to do is I'm going to provide a couple of different options for you. So one is to have the team cards like this. You can see that it's the same thing as what I'm playing with, but it'll just have the Triple Threat logo. Or I'll provide this sheet here, so you can see just the bottom halves, so you can play just with the bottom parts as well and print those out. If you want to conserve paper, or you just don't care about the images, you just want the gameplay, you could even cut those out into strips or whatever you want to use. And then I have as a free download on the website, and you'll see it whenever I make the website available. There will be these images. So these images that I've provided here, or that I've made for my own, I'm going to provide these images. So everybody you see here, you'll have access to those images. It'll just be a folder of images that you can go into any sort of image editing program like Photoshop or whatever. You can open these cards up in the image editing program and then import these images and just put them right over the logo, and then export it as a PDF or as an image file and then print it. And then you should be able to have these cards with the images as well. Now, the caveat there, and I need you to hear me on this, is that I do not own any copyright to these images. I don't own any copyright or licensing rights for the logos. So these are only for personal use. If you take these and you resell them, you will be doing something illegal and implicating me as well. So these are only for your personal enjoyment. If you want to use these images, that's why I'm not selling them. This is something I did that I'm just giving to you, if you want to use that for your own personal use as well. If you want to go out and get your own images, the image size is 375 wide by 475 tall. So just get an image, crop an image, and put it in there. Put it right on top here. And you can use whatever images that you want. If there are better images that you want to find, or you just want to go through and do that for each of the players that you like, then feel free to do that as well. So I just tried to find images that were emblematic of what the person does, right? Or maybe just a cool image. I mean, this image of Shaq going in for the dunk is a thing, and I really like the one that Giannis, as he's reaching back to hammer it home. I feel like this is a very emblematic Jordan sort of photo, especially because it's over Magic. And Bird is shooting a three. Durant is taking it to the rack. Nash is dribbling it up the floor. I just tried to get some images that are endemic or emblematic of the players, not endemic. So hopefully that makes some sense to you. I think it'll make more sense if you actually get in and you see the files. I might do a little tutorial about how to do that in Photoshop if you have Photoshop, or you might even be able to do it with like the free Photoshop Elements program that sometimes comes on a computer. But I have access to Photoshop, so that's what I would use. But I personally used a different program plus Excel is how I made the card. So that was what I used to input the photos. But you'll have access to those, and they have the logos just like these, just what you see here. So that's pretty cool. And I think they're some of the sharpest looking cards that I've seen. This color coded section down here tells you when the shot is good. And as you put them next to each other, you can start to see their differences. Jordan, a better free throw shooter. Obviously, he's got 3-pointers and he's got a post-up move. But on the jumper, Jordan, a little bit better. Actually, they're the same. They're both good shooters, but Jordan goes to the line more than more than Patrick Ewing. Excuse me. So he's got a few extra fouls on here. But on his layup going to the basket, both guys are just, they have a lot of dunks. Driving to the basket, he's got a couple misses. He's going to miss a little bit more than Jordan on the drive to the basket. And his turnover percentage is about 20%. So he's got a few more turnovers here. You can tell that even with 3 turnover options, there's not a ton of turnovers here. I don't know how many did we have in the game. Somebody down here had one. So Akeem had a turnover, and so far we just have 1 turnover in the game at this point. But sometimes you'll find magic turning the ball over. Some of these point guards have more turnovers than others. Like here, Steve Nash has 3. So typically the guys who are going to handle the ball more are going to have more turnovers, a higher turnover percentage. So I'll try to reflect that on the cards, but there's not a ton of turnovers in the game. But there will be steals, so I guess you could count that as a turnover. And I wasn't counting steals here, but you could. And if you were, then there would be multiple. There would be more turnovers in the game because there were some steals. I remember Jordan. These two tried to hook up cross court, and somebody stole the ball. So, yeah, that's the game. All right, overtime will be coming up in another video, and don't know when I'll get that out, but this has been a really exciting one. Nice, like old school matchup, 128-128. Lots of scoring, just like you would assume from these two teams. And we also didn't do any sort of offensive rebounding, which you could add into the game. On a miss, if you roll 2, I usually use this die for deciding who got the rebound, and I use this one to decide was it an offense or defensive rebound. So in this case, it would be a defensive rebound. So if this is a 9 or a 10, so it was a 9, then that would be an offensive rebound to the center. But if it was a 1, it'd be a defensive rebound to the center on the opposite team. So that's how I have a modifier to determine that. It's anywhere between 20 and 30% for the NBA. As you go back in time, it's closer to 33% offensive rebounds per game. But as you get to today's time, I don't know if they're just better rebounders or they don't want it as much. I don't know. But the defensive rebounding is down to about 20%. So we lost about 10%, 15% over the last 40 or 50 years of the NBA. So if you're playing older seasons, it's cool to even do 7 to 10 on the modifier die because that's going to be a pretty true representation of offensive rebounding. But if you're doing more modern players, then 9 and 10, or sorry, it's 8 to 10. That would be 30%. 9 and 10 would be a 20% range, which is fine for modern NBA. All right. And I'm working on finishing up the game guide and getting everything ready to go. So I think we're really close. It's probably going to happen this week that I'll make the announcement about the website, and you'll be able to go and purchase this first set. I have it set for $10. You're going to get 75 NBA players. The game engine chart, you'll get this scorecard, you'll get all the players. I'm going to make all of the photos available for free on the website. It'll be a separate download than the game, but you'll be able to just go and download it for free and have access to those players, or you can make your own. Totally cool. So 375 pixels by 475 pixels, and just crop that image to that size, and you should be able to put it on there. So I hope that you enjoy it. I'm enjoying playing the game more than I thought I would. I don't really play a lot of like in-depth types of games like this, real detailed, but playing it this way has been super fun because I get a lot of the detail without having to keep track of everything because I'm just playing the game. But there's enough players here that if you wanted to do just starting 5s, you could have 8 or 10 team leagues and just play them against each other, split them all up. There's a ton of players from the past, as about half the players are what I would consider classic players, which these guys I would consider classic players, and then there's about half of them are more modern players. So you got a lot of choices to choose from. You can learn a lot about some of these older players, especially from the 40s, 50s, 60s, if you're not familiar with them. And then if you haven't been watching basketball for a while, then you can learn a lot about these modern players. So what's up with Kevin Durant or Steph Curry or LeBron? And if you play with the ability to pass up a shot or decide where you want to pass the ball, and you want a little bit more interactivity that way, then you can do that, and not just sitting back and watching them do whatever they're going to do. You can sort of pass the ball around to whoever you want to get the ball to. You want LeBron to take more shots, then get the ball to him. Let him take more shots. Take more contested shots, that kind of thing. So you can sort of force the action on a lot of these players, or you can kind of sit back and let them play out. Either one. I like the ability to give you that. I like to give you that ability to be able to choose how you want to play. Do you want it to be more of where you're a part of the action and deciding where the ball goes, or you just sort of kick back and let the dice decide how things work out, or you could do it for one team and not the other, that type of deal. So when I make a game, I'm thinking about those things. How can we get more gamer interaction as opposed to only the players interacting with one another. So all right, I think that's it from here. 128 is our score. We're tied going into overtime in this game. This is extra basketball that I was not expecting to play, but I think it's going to be really cool to see overtime play out. And hopefully at the end of that, we'll have a winner. At this point, these shooting guards are in trouble. Giannis has 3. So maybe Nowitzki will have to come through. Jordan's got 4 fouls, Bird 3, Malone 3, and Steve Nash has 3. So we got some people in foul trouble. We'll see if that comes back to bite them in the overtime period. But I'll have that soon. I think that's it from here. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, click subscribe, and then you'll get notified of new videos when I post them. There'll be at least one more new video because we got overtime. So and watch out for an announcement about the game. It'll probably be coming sometime this week or this weekend, and you'll be able to purchase the game for yourself and try it out and play with these players. All right, I think that's it from here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.